The USS Enterprise is a fictional vessel. It is a Sovereign-class starship in the Star Trek franchise. It appears only in the films Star Trek, First Contact, Star Trek, Insurrection and Star Trek Nemesis, where it serves as the primary setting. It is the sixth Federation starship to carry the name Enterprise, and the seventh Starfleet ship to be named as such. Origin and design: Ronald D. Moore, the co-writer of Star Trek Generations and Star Trek, First Contact, had suggested that construction of the Enterprise E began in the final season of The Next Generation, and that the ship was renamed USS Enterprise, which would become the latest flagship of the United Federation of Planets after the Enterprise D had been destroyed. Depiction: the Enterprise E, a Sovereign-class starship, launched in 2372 from the San Francisco Fleet Yards under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Picard and most of the key officers were from Enterprise D. According to the non-canon novel Ship of the Line, the originally planned name for the vessel was USS Honorius, and Montgomery Scott was part of the team of engineers that designed the Enterprise E. In the film Star Trek, First Contact, the Enterprise participates in the Battle of Sector 001, destroying a Borg cube, and subsequently travels back in time to stop the Borg from interfering with Tsvon Cochrane's first contact with the Vulcans. The Borg hijacked and almost assimilated the ship until Captain Picard and Data reclaimed it. In Star Trek, Insurrection, the crew stops a sonar attempt to forcibly relocate the Baiku people from their home world. In Star Trek Nemesis, the Enterprise is heavily damaged while stopping Shinzon from using a weapon of mass destruction to destroy all life on Earth. The ship returns to Spacer Dock to undergo extensive repairs. In the non-canon comic book miniseries Star Trek, Countdown, which serves as the official prequel to the events of the 2009 film Star Trek, the Enterprise E under the command of Captain Data confronts the antagonist Nero, but misses stopping Nero's ship from entering an artificial black hole, which sends it back in time to set in motion the alternate timeline depicted in the new film series. In the novels published by Pocket Books after Nemesis, the Enterprise E remains under the command of Picard as of 2385 in the 2013 novel miniseries Star Trek, The Fall. Data was resurrected in the novels similarly to the comic miniseries Countdown, but he decided not to re-enter Starfleet. A designer's blueprints show that the Enterprise's new phaser banks and torpedo launchers in Star Trek Nemesis that were not present in Star Trek, Insurrection. It also shows the warp nacelles have been moved upwards and forward slightly. Star Trek, Ships of the Line, written by Star Trek's technical consultant Michael Okuda, states that the Enterprise can travel at up to warp 9.995. Ships officers Captain Jean-Luc Picard, captain of the Enterprise from the ship's launch in 2372. Commander William Thomas Riker, first officer of the Enterprise from its launch in 2372. Promoted to captain in 2379, and left the Enterprise with his wife, ship's counselor Commander Deanna Troi, to take command of the USS Titan. Lieutenant Commander Data was operations officer from its launch in 2372. And was third in line of command, until his apparent death in 2379, at the end of Star Trek Nemesis. Commander Deanna Troi Commander Troi was the ship's counselor from its launch in 2372, until the end of Star Trek Nemesis, when she departed with her new husband, Captain Riker, for the Titan. Lieutenant Commander Worf, after serving as Strategic Operations Officer on Deep Space Nine during the Dominion War, Worf was made an ambassador to Kolnos, but eventually returned to Starfleet by the time of the film Star Trek, Nemesis. Following Riker's departure at the end of that film, Worf was promoted to first officer in the non-canon 2007 novel Resistance, and continues to serve in this role in the Destiny, Typhon Pact, and the Fall novels. Commander Beverly Crusher, M.D. Crusher was the ship's chief medical officer from its launch in 2372. In the non-canon 2007 novel Death in Winter, she again took a position as head of Starfleet Medical, but returned to the Enterprise in the novel Resistance. Lieutenant Commander Geordie LaForge, chief engineer from the ship's acceptance into Starfleet service. Lieutenant Reginald Barclay, present during the events of Star Trek, First Contact. Lieutenant Hawk flight controller until assimilation by the Borg and death at the hands of Worf in Star Trek: First Contact. References. External links. USS Enterprise at Memory Alpha.